everybody. Welcome to one of my favorite places on this earth, the 8,500 feet of joy that is Aspen, Colorado. Now, what do you get when you invite the world's best half-pipe riders to come and sample 575 feet of perfection in one of the best super pipes ever built, only to double the trouble by building the exact same perfection right next door? Well, we think it is sure to be a history-making surprise excitement party. 2 half pipes complete with wall rides and rails and this 4-foot wide spine right down the middle that will allow the riders to transfer from pipe to pipe in the same run. This is Double Pipe, and you're watching the Red Bull Signature Series. Hey everybody, Soundmaster Kelly here, your host of the Red Bull Signature Series, and allow me to welcome you once again to the beautiful Rocky Mountains and Buttermilk Mountain here, Bluebird Day in Aspen Snowmass. Now, you know, Aspen has been the home to all sorts of winter action sports progression and history, but today, we're taking things to an entirely new level by doubling down on anything that's ever been done before in pro snowboarding. Not just one, but 2 super pipes side by side, 18 degrees in pitch, 575 feet in length, 22 feet high, and each one 68 feet wide. Oh, and that's multiplied by 2. Now the athletes, they come from all over snowboarding, half pipe, slopestyle, backcountry, free riders, all here looking to make a name on the biggest stage ever made in competitive snowboarding. Some people say that half-pipe events have become routine, maybe even stale, but not today. Today, we launch into the future of what's possible in half-pipe competitions. The big question remaining, are 2 better than 1? We're gonna find out and check in right now with the 2 Todds, Harris and Richards.
All right, thank you very much, Sal. Fresh off the heels of the Olympic Winter Games in Russia, Todd, we are really forcing our athletes now to think outside the box, or in this case, outside the pipe.
You know, absolutely. And these guys are breathing a sigh of relief. They've been focused on that one run, best of 2 format all year long. Now they're here, and the chances to create in this double pipe are just endless.
All right, early this week, you had a chance to session this pipe with your good friend Louis Vito. You are a brave man. What's it like tackling this beast?
Well, riding a super pipe by itself is one thing. It's tiring, it's exhausting. You put 2 side by side, it just really opens the playing field. There's so much to do in here, but you really have to pick out your line because you'll end up on top of obstacles you have no business being on, in my case, for sure.
All right, we've got 8 finalists ready to go. We're about to prove why 2 is always better than 1.
So we will kick things off with 26-year-old Scotty Lago, the bronze medalist from the 2010 Games. He will be the first man to christen the double pipe here in the final.
I had a chance to talk to Scotty earlier today just about what his strategy is coming into this thing. Now, it really does take a different approach to this than your typical super pipe riding, especially going over that spine. It's intimidating. You've got to have your line be perfect because you can shoot out to the flat bottom if you don't get it just right. So Scotty Lago trying to switch it up a little bit. He's got a good line. He just needs to nail it.
The 26-year-old from Seabrook, New Hampshire is in the double pipe.
Here we go. Scotty getting things going with the 1080, but you really have to use this whole pipe. There's so many obstacles in here. You have to switch up your thinking. There he goes, from transferring from one pipe into the other. He'll be looking to transfer back over again. You see right there, getting a little bit loose and getting bounced off of the top there. Like I said, you have to really know where your transitions are. Scotty getting bounced off the top into the flat bottom. Scotty just kind of gets his wits about him right here. Louis Vito running up to check him out. So let's take a look back here at what went right with Scotty Lago's run. Up top, the shifty, getting things going on, then straight into a perfect frontside 1080. Gets both of his hands on that. Now that was where the run was going smoothly. Here is the 540, inverted 540 to the setup transfer over the spine. Just not enough speed for Scotty to get up and over, and just clips it on top and is thrown into the flat bottom. As I said before, you need to be precise and you need to know exactly where you're taking off and, more importantly, where you're about to land.
So 26-year-old Scotty Lago out of Seabrook, New Hampshire will be evaluated by the medical staff. Not certain whether he'll be able to take his next 2 runs. Two-time Olympian Greg Bretz out of Mammoth Lakes, California. Now, during the semis and the warm-up today, Todd, he was really getting a lot of attention, not only from the judges, but the fans because of his creative line and at the ease of which he transfers over that spine.
Yeah, Bretz has been handling this thing all week. These guys have had 3 to 4 days to come out here and just practice casually to get the whole line thing down, because it is so different than anything they're used to competing in. The format is a lot more loose. Creativity is rewarded, and Brett's definitely bringing the creativity early in these practice sessions. Just starting things off, standard fare, the inverted 1080 nose grab. Now I watch for Brett's right here to transfer up and over. Tail grab up and over, makes the tranny. Now he's in the other one. Actually gets a backside lip slide up on top of that rail. Straight up and over. This is how you ride it. You want to work it back and forth. Brett's having a great run here. Able to kind of pop up and over right there on that small section. Now watch this right here. Brett's has got a great line. This last transfer, big backside 360, and just clipping a little bit. So as I said, you have to know your line before you do it. And Brett's definitely is one of the more creative guys out here using the transfers up and down this thing.
So Bretz gets multiple transfers into both pipes, and he used so much of the different resources that are available to him.
He did. Now, Greg is obviously an amazing pipe rider. He made it to the Olympics twice. He's got all that down. But, you know, this format right here kind of favors a different style of riding. You need to be really aggressive. You see Brett's right there kind of alley-ooping it in the air, up and over into the second pipe, then throwing that into a double, and then he goes to go back over again. See right here, the double cork move. Brett's using that to make his way to the Olympics not once, but 2 times. Most recently here a month ago in Sochi. But this is a whole different playing field. 2 pipes side by side, and you got to go back and forth.
So the score coming down for Greg Bretz on run number 1 of 3, and it's respectable at 67.8 for Mammoth, California's Greg Bretz.
Worst run possible.
Prior to today's final, we had an international field of 18 riders in a jam format where, Todd, the judges were looking for overall impression.
They were. You had to mix it up. You needed to go back and forth over the spine, utilize the features, get it going on basically from top to bottom. Now, this is the first time anyone's ever done a back-to-back half-pipe competition like this to this magnitude. A super pipe, 22 feet deep, 2 of them, mirror images, side by side. You need to transfer over the spine. You need to use the features on the side. And the riders that made it into the final did just that.
And the whole point of double pipe really is to push the progression of the sport. Chase Josey would end up in 3rd place. The young man out of Sun Valley, Idaho, had a great run.
He did. He pushed the boundaries of what is possible. You see right here the 180 up and over the hitching post, comboing that into the big switch backside 540. That's what the judges wanted to see, unique lines utilizing the features.
2nd place belonged to Francis Artur Longo. Stylish all day long, trying new things, really pushing the boundaries of what's possible in a double pipe.
Really, Artur Longo is one of the riders love to watch. He makes it look so effortless, calm and cool and collected across the flat bottom. Seeing him transfer right there. Artur really mixing it up, but it was down here at the bottom. Switch, double, backside, alley-oop Michael Chuck. That's a mouthful, but Artur Longo got it done and moved on into the finals.
And the man with the best run in the jam format. Remember, 2-hour jam format, none other than Taylor Gold out of Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
Taylor Gold has been on a roll this season, winning multiple big events. But this was something the likes he had never seen. Having trouble all week long during practice, Taylor finally decides to put it together on finals day. He does just that. Moves like this, the switch Michael Chuck out of utilizing that hitching post feature. Taylor Gold, one to watch for the finals.
So from 18, we cut the field down to 8 to make the final of Red Bull double pipe.
He is known throughout the snowboarding world simply as Hitch. Christian Haller, the 24-year-old, coming to us by way of Switzerland. Another one of those guys, Todd, that early on seemed to have figured out the way this double pipe seems to work.
You know, and I've been saying, we've had conversations this morning as this was going down in practice. It's not about how many double corks you can throw back to back here. My advice to these riders is tone it down a little bit. Concentrate on your style. Maybe just do a 720. Maybe just do a 540. But definitely get moving between those two pipes. The judges want to see that. They're rewarding on creativity of line as well as progressive moves. Hitch starting things off, up and over. Christian Haller, alley-oop 540, carrying a lot of speed here, up and over once again. That is how it's done. You want to work this thing like a rib, back and forth. Haller, perfect style. He's keeping it simple. There's that 10, ending things off. Will Hitch go back over one more time? He's not going to have a chance to, but that was a great run. I like the way up top that he was back and forth from wall to wall. Keeping it interesting, keeping it moving.
So the 24-year-old out of Switzerland has 2 transfers in the double pipe, but makes the most of both sides.
Check it out right here, the alley-oop 540. That's a tough move to carry speed out of, let alone actually transfer after that. Hitch, the big method here, and landing basically on the wall right there. The rest of that run, very clean. It's definitely going to be the riders today that use both pipes, utilize the features that are going to get the big scores.
And the score coming down for Christian Haller. It's a 58.6 on run number 1.
Right now, let's go down to Tina Dixon.
When the riders showed up earlier this week, one of the biggest questions asked was, how do I actually ride from one pipe to the next? You see this wall behind me. The top is designed to help the rider re-enter the same pipe, not go into a completely new one. Now, I talked to Olympian Greg Bretz about it, and he admitted it was a little intimidating at first to make that transfer, and it really defies so much of what he learned in half-pipe riding. So it's been an experiment for these riders. They've had to break a lot of mental barriers, but that challenge is also what makes this event so appealing for these guys.
All right, thank you, Tina.
This is 22-year-old Benji Farrow from Ludlow, Vermont, now residing in Breckenridge, Colorado, set to attack the double pipe here at Buttermilk Aspen Snowmass on a picture-perfect day.
Wait for your headshot at the bottom.
Benji Farrow has been having really interesting lines. It's been so fun to watch these guys as they figure it out. I've been up here now for 4 days, practicing with them in this double pipe here, and to see them adapt. Every day they get a little bit more confident. Every day the transfers get a little bit more risky. Benji Farrow is one of those guys who's been pushing it as far as getting over this spine and locking into the big features that are on the side of the pipe.
Progression's certainly the name of the game here at double pipe. This is Benji Farrow dropping in.
Here we go, dropping it next. Put your hands together for Benji Farrow.
He's starting his runoff switch, coming in.
He's going to be dropping in lefty.
Switch method to get his run going here. Starting it off creative. 1080. Oh, clipping the deck just a little bit here. Speed is definitely your friend. Benji's going to look to pop up and over here. Oh, little alley-oop wall ride.
You can see just without that speed, Todd, it's almost impossible to make it over the spine.
It is. It's absolutely impossible. You can't get that projection. He gets it there, just kind of going through the little love seat section. So Benji Farrow, not quite the run that I was expecting him to throw down. A clean one nonetheless, albeit with that little deck check that kind of robbed him of his speed.
And without that speed, he's unable to make the transfers that he wants to. Able to do it through the cutout, but only one transfer for Benji Farrow.
So Benji here had a solid run up top, kind of linking it back and forth like a traditional half-pipe event. That's where you want to watch out. If you get stuck in that, you get locked in and you don't start going back and forth between these pipes, your score is really going to pay. Benji down the bottom, finishing things off, but that deck check that kind of kicked him around there and robbed his speed. He'll look for runs 2 and 3 to put up that big score.
37.6 does him no good. It's a good thing we have 3-run format for Benji Farrow.
Chase Josey, just 18 years of age, out of Haley, Idaho, Sun Valley area. And this is another one of the kids that I was watching during practice in their semis and really has a very creative line.
Yeah, Chase wants it. You can tell that he's very aggressive, and you have to be. This spine doesn't really take prisoners. Scotty Lago got destroyed on his first run here in the final. Chase Josey will have to take a very aggressive line. Speed is your friend. You need to land high. You don't want to start to initiate that transfer with not enough speed, or you will bounce off of the deck.
So he starts in rider's left with a little style and a lot of speed.
Backside 540 to start things off, and there's that double. Now the thing that he's got to be thinking is get out of this pipe, get into the other one. Chase looking good. I mean, you've got to get in that other pipe, buddy. You're getting locked into the regular contest format. Gunny didn't come out here and put all this effort in to have you ride one pipe. There it is. He gets over the other side. Switch backside 900. Now that's the way you do it. I would have preferred to see at least another transfer up top, but that was a clean line. The 180 over the hitching post into the switch backside 900. That's a heavy line.
So just one transfer for Chase Josey. Remember, these pipes 575 feet in length. And here it is one more time. Started off very stylish.
Yeah, the backside 360 into the pipe there, kind of turning it into a 540, and then straight into the doubles. And I started to get worried because at this point, I'm like, okay, you've done 2 hits. Recompose yourself, get into the other pipe. And it was this switch backside 900 here at the bottom that really put an exclamation point on his run. And as I said before, the only thing he could have done a little bit better was get back and forth between these 2 pipes at least one more time.
And Josey goes into first place with an 87.8.
One of our international competitors here in beautiful Aspen, Colorado. This is Artur Longo, the 25-year-old out of France.
Artur, a very, very stylish rider. Gets things going with a big air to fakie to start his run off. Very slow. Oh, Artur hooking up on the deck right there. That'll be it for his chance at a full pull and a big score. But big things could come from Artur later on. He's got that style, that slow motion style that lends itself so well to riding superpipe, and especially one that has a mirror image on the other side.
Todd gives us an opportunity to ask, as the expert, do these guys, do you think, need at least 2 transfers on their run?
I believe they do, unless you've got something crazy going on some of the wall ride features. There's 2 pipes side by side. You need to use both those pipes. Get out of that mental state where you think that you're just riding in an X Games or a Dew Tour or whatever it may be. This is a completely different format. You need to express yourself in a different way.
And Longo score a 30.6, so he will look to runs 2 and 3 for improvement.
Next man to drop is Taylor Gold, the reigning U.S. Open champion. The 20-year-old out of Steamboat Springs, Colorado, was the top qualifier coming into double pipe.
And let's talk about what the judges are looking for here, because this is completely different than any event that these guys have ever done. Along with crazy technical tricks like that double right there, the judges want to see you going back and forth, transferring up and over from pipe to pipe, mixing up the lines. Do not get stuck in a traditional contest format. You need to take advantage of it.
Nice.
As we see Taylor right here, he is a perfect example of how to ride this thing. He's tech, he's making use of it, and Taylor Gold will take the lead with that run. 2 transfers, highly technical moves. That's how you ride the double pipe here at Buttermilk.
A little bit of everything for Taylor Gold, and at just 20 years of age, he's young enough to still believe that, you know what, let's just make this one big playground, and that's exactly what he did.
Boom, throws it off, big double up top. Now Taylor Gold has been just getting steadily better every single contest. You see that transfer right there in the hitching post, the 50-50, popping that over, and then into this switch Michael Chuck. Now, as long as you're keeping your lines perfect, You know, he's going to be a really hard person to beat out here because he has 2 transfers and he's getting technical. The combos that he's doing out of the lines over the spine are really second to none right now. The only thing that I could see him maybe upping the ante a little bit is a 360 transfer over the spine.
So the score coming down for Taylor Gold on run number 1 of 3, and it is a 95.6. So Taylor Gold goes into first place, and Tina Dixon is standing by with our current leader.
Thanks, Todd and Taylor. What an impressive first run, including 2 transfers and the double at the top. Just how solid are you feeling out there?
I wouldn't say solid. I've never ridden anything like this, so this is just insane. I'm so stoked that they invited me, and it's just super fun to ride. You know, it's super sunny, so stoked.
After one run, you are in the lead, but how much have you had to change your thinking process of pipe riding?
It's totally different. I mean, until today, I had no idea what I was going to do the whole time. Like, all practice days, just struggling. It's so different.
Well, you're looking good so far, and have fun, guys.
So as we take a look at the standings as of now, it is Taylor Gold on top, Chase Josey in second, and Greg Bretz in third. Let's sit it down to Sal Masekela.
Now, double pipe is really considered the future of competitive snowboarding and half pipe riding. Young riders excited to push their limits of progression on an entirely new canvas. So naturally, when an event like double pipe comes to be, it seems like the perfect template for these competitors to show off their skills. But many of them saw this venue for just the first time a couple of days ago, got little practice time, and they're competing against a unique field. All of that requires a lot more than anything else that they've taken on this season, and they really have to use any means possible to prepare for this one-of-a-kind event.
We're here. Red Bull double pipe. The 4th wall.
Jeez, dude, that thing is insane.
Let's go do it.
The double pipe is definitely a never-before-seen feature. The GoPro really helped me kind of figure out a line to take and a certain way to figure out the spine and everything.
It helps me look at what I'm doing, how big I'm going, what line I'm taking, and if I need to change it.
I can video of them right there with my pad, and they can see it at the bottom right where I'm standing, and we can talk about it over and over until they get it, and then they can go right back up and do it. It's accelerating how fast these kids are learning. I mean, they're just running through stuff so quick.
Back at Aspen Snowmass, Buttermilk Mountain, as double pipe rolls on to run number 2, you are looking at Greg Bretz, 23 years of age, out of Mammoth Lakes, California, a 2-time Olympian. And here in this pipe, double pipe, he is putting on an absolute show. First run score was solid, a 67.8, but he's looking for improvements.
Brett's one to watch all week long in practice. He definitely has the lines. He was probably one of the first people to actually get the transfers going. I think from what rumor has it, he was in his first warm-up run, he was going for it. So he wants it. Brett's getting things going here. There's the 1080. I say 3 hits max, and then you need to get your butt over that spine. Come on, Bretz. Start using this thing. There we go. Tail grab up and over. Now he's mixing it up. The wall ride, little backside tail slide on that.
Oh, just clips the deck.
Whew, Indy transfer. So Bretz, he's got a line worked out here. Here it is. He's got a backside 900 he's going to do over this bottom hip section. Let's see if he can stomp it. He did it in practice.
Earlier he went
backside 7. Woo, so Greg Bretz, run 2 of 3. Pressure's on for him to put it down on his 3rd run. The ingredients are there. He just really needs to mix it up.
Remember, the mark to beat right now is a 95.6 in our 3-run format.
So here's up top, Brett's getting things going. Typical Brett's fashion, really clean, 1080 nose grab. Then goes into this right here, nice 900. And then he scoots himself up and over the spine. You need to get those transfers going. Here's the Indy Air transfer that he had. Kind of decking it out a little bit, landing on top, robbing them a little bit of his speed. And then down the bottom, Brett set himself up nice for that 720. I know he has that 900 though. He stomped it in practice.
So Bretz's score comes down as a 67.8, and he will look to run number 3. Next man to drop in at double pipe is 24-year-old Christian Haller. Hitch set to drop. He's got a 58.6, which currently has him in 4th place. Todd, you talk about the guys with the ingredients to make it happen and get them on top. This guy certainly has it.
Yeah, Hitch has the big airs. He has the style. My advice to these guys, tone down the doubles. Don't be trying to go for 1260s and 1080s. Just keep it simple and get back and forth over that spine. SPT and Chris Gunnarsson didn't spend all that time out here in Snowcat, so you could just ride one side of this thing. Get your butt over. Haller right there does it. Moves over the spine into that alley-oop 5, then pops it back up and over again, and Hitch gets bucked to the flat.
It almost has to be perfect synchronicity for you to have the right speed and the right angle. We talked about Greg Bretz being able to get over easier than everyone else, and he does the tail grab, which seems to drop the nose and make it easier, but guys are really struggling. That 4-foot spine is a huge obstacle.
And the thing that makes it quite risky is when you do land on top, you are getting ejected to the flat. You're not catching any transition. You see him right here, goes for the Indy transfer, gets the grab. Now watch where he makes contact. You have to point that board. You have to fight it to get in there. He knows he's not going to make it. Just jack in the box, ejection, misses the entire transition. And that wall right there, especially being in the shade, does not feel good. So Hitch will definitely be getting a nice big bruise from that one.
Remember, folks, these pipes 575 feet long, those walls 22 feet high. So Christian Haller gets bucked down to the bottom. His score is 16.8. He'll throw that away and look to run number 3 if he can keep it going. So we roll on at double pipe now to the youngest competitor in the field at 14 years of age, Bend, Oregon's Gabe Ferguson. One of the Ferguson brothers, his brother Ben, 19 years of age, did not make the big final. So here's the youngster's chance to really show his big brother what he can do. Now, during practice, Todd, earlier this week and during the semis today, this kid was almost flawless.
He is on fire. He is my pick for the one to perhaps take it to Taylor Gold in this double pipe. Watch his 3rd hit. That's going to be a 360 transfer. Basically, think of doing an alley-oop move, but up and over the spine. It is crazy, the amount of risk that's involved. Here it comes. Pops up and over and in. That is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That move incredibly hard. Wow. 14 years young. 2 transfers. One of them a massive 360. Tapping that little rail at the bottom. Ferguson is on fire.
Just 14 years of age, and Gabe Ferguson, 2 transfers, massive air, clean across the spine. Judges are going to appreciate this one.
Oh man, I cannot wait to see the replay of that 360 over the spine. It was so heavy. It is initiated like an alley-oop, but you need to pop it out perfectly, and Gabe does. And it was a massive one, probably one of the biggest ones I've seen him do all week long. And it didn't stop there. Then he packed his run full of the usual half-pipe fare. Big 900s, a big 540. You see right here, snaps into this. Ferguson, 19 years old. 14 years old. His brother being 19, but check it out. The perfect style. Holding on to that in the air. I'm still just in shock of how big that alley 360 transfer over the spine was. That is no joke, ladies and gentlemen.
So the score coming down now for 14-year-old Gabe Ferguson. It is an 84, so that puts him into the top 3 as we are in the midst of run number 2. You are looking at 22-year-old Benji Farrow, originally from Ludlow, Vermont, now residing in Breckenridge, Colorado. Right now, let's take a first-hand look at the speed and amplitude it takes to ride the inaugural Red Bull double pipe in today's test drive.
All right, everyone, here we go. This is the test drive Red Bull double pipe. Frontside air into the pipe. Gonna go over the spine. Into the other pipe. Backside 540. Front 7. this little wall ride feature here. Coming up to the rail, 50-50, 270 out, backside alley-oop, big old slash, throw some snow, and that's your look at the Red Bull Double Pipe 2014.
So Benji Farrow set to take run number 2. He's currently sitting on a 37.6 in our 3-run format. We only keep your best score, and right now it is Taylor Gold who has set the bar at a 95.6. He did that on run number 1. Nice little stylish way to start things off.
Here he comes in here, switch method to get things going. Getting creative. These riders really having a chance here to bring a different kind of riding to halfpipe. All year long, they've been focused on their 2 runs, best of 2. Let's try to make it to the Olympics, but this is all about being different, showing your creativity. Oh, nice. Right there. Frontside 50-50 to 270 in on the other side of the spine. That's Farrow mixing it up.
So he slows down towards the bottom of this 575-foot pipe. But Todd, a lot of style, a lot of personal interpretation here at Double Pipe.
And you think about what he did. I mean, he started off switch, got it going, transferred over the spine, had that going on. But it was really the hitching post where he went frontside 50-50 from one side of the half pipe and then popped backside 270 in the other side. That is a heavy, heavy move to be doing. Here's the transfer up top. Little alley-oop, and he catches the deck on that just a little bit, but boy, oh boy, did he make up for it later on. There's the wall ride, setting them up here. There's the front side 50-50, and popping that 270 into his backside wall in the other pipe. That's how you transfer, really mixing it up, being creative.
And the score comes down for Benji Farrow, a good one, a 79.8. So Farrow now sits in 4th place with 1 run still to go. So as we take a look at the standings as of now, it is Taylor Gold on top with a 95.6. Let's sit it down to Sal Masekela.
Building a half pipe is an art form, my friends. You got tons and tons of snow that need to be shaped round the clock for weeks with snow cats, by hand, and with a device that's known as a zog cutter. All of this is precise and painstaking because a half pipe makes or breaks a competition. From the degree and the pitch of the walls to the bottom transition, all of that requiring thousands of hours of meticulous care. Now you add to that ever-changing weather, snow, and temperatures, and you understand that this is a job that's reserved only for a handful of crews in the world, because it wasn't just as easy as slapping one pipe next to the other. So when it came to the double down, there's only one team for the job, Snowpark Technologies.
The most exciting part about this project for me was breaking the stereotypical mold of a conventional half pipe. The double pipe might go down in history as one of the more complicated and definitely the biggest single feature we've ever built. To build one good pipe is a challenge on its own and takes a lot of snow, a lot of effort.
With a normal half pipe, we have a crew of 2 to 3 guys on the ground for about 14 days, pushing anywhere from about 13 to 16 million gallons worth of water for man-made snow for a pipe. So when you get here and you look at this, you see 2 pipes, but it's actually 3 because the X Games pipe is buried underneath one of those.
We basically took the existing half pipe, filled that in, created an entirely new grade on a whole new pipe, and built 2 pipes on top of that. It's a staggering amount of snow.
When you look at the 2 half pipes, what it is, it's really one big half pipe with the spine in the middle.
The spine that separates the 2 pipes was by far the most critical part of this whole thing, and it was the last thing to get built in our process. Once we'd elevated both outside decks and we started taking all the excess snow off to get ready to be cut, we washed it into the middle and basically formed almost the center of a W.
I think when a lot of people look at it, you know, they're thinking that we pushed the snow up like this. We actually built it as a road, layered it up, and then took it away. And that's the reason the snow's compact and firm and it rides like a normal half pipe wall.
So a lot of challenges rolled into one, but I think it's what makes this project so awesome is that we're always looking for the next challenge.
To just give you an idea of the dimensions here, we're talking 2 575-foot pipes, 22-foot walls, An NFL field is 120 yards, NBA court's 94 feet, and an NHL hockey rink is 200 feet. This thing is massive. The mark to beat, a 95.6 put up by Taylor Gold. This is Chase Josey out of Sun Valley, Idaho, just 18 years of age.
Wow, starting things off, backside 900 style into the double 10. Wow, now you're looking good. Oh, spoke too soon.
He was all ready to make the transfer, and Chase Josey unable to land that third trick.
But man, he was going for it, using that first hip to launch himself into a backside 900.
So a possible glimpse of what we may see from Chase Josey on his third and final run. Remember, we're only keeping your best score, and he's currently sitting in second with a pretty respectable 87.8.
Watch this right here as he comes into the pipe, uses the hip, snaps it into a backside 900. Unbelievable. And then boom, straight into this right here, just taking a swing for the fences. The double 1080 puts that down, but unfortunately hooking up on the deck here. Watch as he comes around on this, misses the grab. That potentially could have been it. He didn't actually have a tight enough ball to come around to make it into the transition. Gets a little bit loose and, you know, really got lucky there because he could have been ejected into the flat bottom. But Chase Josey, he's got a lot riding on run number 3.
23.8 on run number 2 does him no good, so Chase Josey will let it all fly on his third and final run.
You are looking at 25-year-old Artur Longo, currently sitting in 7th place. The mark to beat at 95.6 in our 3-run format.
Never before has there been an event of this magnitude with 2 half pipes next to each other. Big transfers going down, big risk gets big reward. Artur Longo, one of the most stylish guys out here riding today.
In the pipes. All right.
Huge air to fakie to get things off that first hip. So Artur, backside 360. Oh!
Kind of going back
close there, but that was a great start of his run. You've got to be so precise in this double pipe to get these runs to match up. From pipe to pipe, transferring is not easy.
Well, riding a super pipe alone, Todd, as you know from experience and riding this one this week, is tough enough. But just mixing in that transfer with that 4-foot spine makes it that much more difficult.
Infinitely more difficult. You have to have the perfect trajectory, the perfect amount of speed, and you're almost like pointing your board to find the transition on the other side. But this air to fakie to start things off, this center hip, pops it up and over, lands backwards, gets that run started off strong, and then out of nowhere, I did not expect to see this backside 360 so soon out of Artur, but check it out right here. Gets the grab, watch as he spots. Look, his eyeballs just eyeing up, where is that lip? Did I clear it? Did I clear it? Just barely. So as we've seen with some other competitors, landing on top of that deck will eject you into the flat bottom. Artur got very lucky.
Longo's second run score, 36.2, so he will lay everything on the line in run number 3. Our current leader, Taylor Gold, sits on top in the 3-run format, 95.6 that he threw down on run number 1. Here he is set to go on run number 2. Now, Todd, the strategic question is, you look down this double barrel of fun, does he try something new or does he clean up that first run?
I think he's going to want to clean it up a little bit, but you know what? Taylor Gold sitting on that huge score right now. If you're going to mix it up, do it now. Here he goes. Cab in there. Switching his lineup just a little bit. His big move comes down the bottom here. The front side 180 up and over the hitching post. There's the in the air. There's the alley-oop. Now watch. Oh, unfortunately for Taylor Gold, just locking up on the deck on that frontside alley-oop. Not able to hold on to it. But he's sitting on that massive score. It's going to be a real hard one to beat, but hey, third runs are usually when people throw down because there's nothing to lose.
Folks, taking in the first of its kind double pipe. You take one super pipe and then you match it up on the other side. The good folks at Sports SPT able to do a great job here. Todd, look at this one more time. Where did this go wrong?
Check it out right here. He gets the transfer down. There's another 540 right there, inverted style, pops up and over the spine. I like that right there. Gets a little extension on it, but it was here. This alley-oop His hands all over his board there. He's in between his legs in weird contortions. I haven't seen some of those moves since the early 90s.
So Taylor Gold's second run score is just a mere 28. He'll throw that away. He sits on the 95.6 with 1 run to go.
This is two-time Olympian Greg Bretz out of Mammoth Lakes, California, 23 years of age. Now, if he throws down the run he had in the semis, Todd, he could walk away with the victory here.
Easily. He's got that backside 900 that is yet to have pulled at the very bottom of the pipe. So look for that. If this run goes smoothly, Bretz is going to want to end it on a high note, a big exclamation point right in front of the judges. Let's see if he can put it down. So Greg Bretz, 2 trips to the Olympics, prepared him for this. 2 pipes, mirror images, side by side with all kinds of funk going on in between. Tail grab up and over, wall ride, backside lip slide, trying to get it up on that one. Oh, ooh, Bretz.
What a save.
Getting lucky. So if he's going to save that 900, he needs to bring it now. Up and over, transferring once again. Here's the setup for it. Backside 5. Will we see the 9?
One more transfer.
Oh, backside 720. Clean. Unfortunately for Bretz, the only problem for him is that little mistake that he had up top there on that transfer. But other than that, I mean, that backside 7 was clean.
Multiple transfers across that 4-foot spine for Greg Bretz out of Mammoth Lakes, California, the two-time Olympian. Wow, that was an impressive run.
It really was. I'm just so bummed for Greg that he had that little lockup going over the spine. Up top, things looking good. 1080 into that 900, then popping it clean. That tail grab. Look as he just kind of meets the transition up top, gets a great pump out of that one. Able to throw the backside tail slide, arguably lip slide up on top of that wall ride. And that's where he had a little bit of a problem right there. Watch as he makes the contact, but gets lucky, can still hold on to the rest of his run. So one small mistake, there's the alley-oop, pops it up and over here, and then the backside 720 over the little dish section at the bottom, arguably the least consequences of any part of this spine, but still, a back 7 over that's no joke.
Yeah, and it's a lot bigger than the 4-foot spine. As you see, it widens out towards the bottom, so he's looking more like a 10-foot spine at that point. So Bretz coming down with his final run score. It's going to be a good one, an 85.6. So Bretz finds himself in 3rd place right now in the 3rd and final runs as we check in with Tina Dixon.
Thanks, Todd and Greg. The 3rd and final run, and you got the backside 720 there on the bottom transfer. Just what was the approach on that final?
I don't know. I'm just trying to have fun and come out here and really try and use my creativity to the next level. So that's basically my goal.
And you also had the opportunity to guinea pig the spine on that first day. Take us through just the progress it's been for you guys to this final day.
Yeah, when I first showed up, I didn't think it was going to be possible at all. But I dropped in first run, came up short a few times on it, and finally got it. And then everyone started sending it, and it worked out great.
Well, a creative run, and it was fun to see. Thanks, Greg.
All right, thank you, Tina. So as we take a look at the standings, Taylor Gold continues to lead the way with a 95.6. Josey in 2nd, and Greg Bretz now sitting in 3rd place here at double pipe. As you get a good look at 18-year-old Chase Josey set to drop in. Now, he's got a very strong score of 87.8, so he can throw out the 23.8. But Todd, now he's got the luxury, currently sitting in 2nd place. He can go for broke, or he can just try to polish up the 87.8.
3rd runs usually mean go for it, especially if you're sitting in the top 3. But, you know, a lot of these guys have had small inconsistencies in their run that they really want to clean up those moves. But starting your run off with a backside 900 in, you mean business. Straight into a big double. Chase Josey, a little hand drag there. Wow. Back-to-back insanity up top. Get out of that single pipe. Get over into the other side.
Little Michael Chuck off the wall ride, so now he's making the transition, does it cleanly.
Chase Josey switch backside 900. That's the way you do it. That one transfer. It was a great run. I don't think it was as clean as some of the other riders. There was a lot packed into it, but this isn't a traditional half-pipe contest. You don't want to put down the banger 6 tricks back to back to back. You want to get moving.
You talk about having to raise the bar for the riders competing with 2 pipes, also for the judges. Being able to judge this thing. Here it is one more time.
I'm seeing double. Check it out right here. Backside 900 to start the runoff. Starting things off great. Then straight up into this double up and over 1080. Little hand drag right there. That may have robbed him of a little bit of speed. But then he gets it going again here. The only problem I have with this run, well, he was a little loose in the air up over the hitching post, but it was a really strong run. The moves were packed in there. Switch backside 900s, nothing to sneeze at on a normal day. Never mind it being comboed after a 180 over that hitching post.
Well, the judges appreciate it to the tune of 91.4, so he improves and stays in second place. You are looking at your current leader. That is Taylor Gold. He is sitting on a 95.6 with one more run to go. But before he drops in, we will see if Francis Artur Longo, the 25-year-old, can unseat him. Because if he can't, it becomes a glory run for Taylor Gold. Now, that being said, this is a tall order for Longo. He's currently sitting on a 36.2. But Todd, he can make that all go away. 95.7, and he takes the lead.
Watch this first air to fakie off of this hip. It is major. Boom, starting a runoff like that. Incredibly technical, and Artur Longo has the 360 over the spine. Will we see it completed? He makes it up and over, so Artur has got the 360 up top, that huge air to fakie. Up and over once again. He is using this pipe the way it was designed to be used. Up and over, making use of the spine features. Longo, huge double.
Oh my.
That is gonna be a big score. Will it be enough to upset Taylor Gold?
Well, the boys at Snow Park Technologies who built this monstrosity double pipe have got to be happy. He used that, Todd, as you mentioned, 2 transfers. He needs a 95.7 or better to take the lead.
I love the way he started his run. That huge air to fakie, very subtle move, but incredibly technical to make it come to fruition. And watch this, the 360 up and over the spine. Longo holds onto it, goes a little bit bigger than he thought he was going to, but doesn't let that phase him. Gets back on his line, transfers not once, but twice, and then brings the heat down here at the bottom with the big double. Up and over, look at the commitment on the head. The neck is cocked, committing to that double flip. Artur Longo, that's gonna be a big score. Where is it gonna put him?
Longo locking in the grab there, and that was one of his big features at the bottom, right in front of our judging panel. And the score comes down for Longo, and it is good at 88.6, but not good enough. So Artur Longo gets himself on the podium, but Taylor Gold is your winner of the inaugural running of double pipe. And now with a 95.6 in his pocket, the last man to drop in, Todd, he gets to put on a show.
Wow, what a month it's been for Taylor Gold, winning the U.S. Open of Snowboarding, and now this. Arguably the most forward-thinking half-pipe contest that has ever happened. 2 pipes side by side, and it takes the precision of a guy like Taylor Gold to come in here and absolutely crush it.
Well, you look at his last 7 weeks of competition from Sochi, Russia, to Vail in the U.S. Open, and now here he is winning the inaugural running of double pipe in the Red Bull Signature Series.
It's crazy. So Taylor Gold, the changing of the guard is here.
Just coming off a big win at the Berkeley.
Both in terms of riding, creativity, and also in the construction of snow obstacles that are designed to promote radness. Taylor Gold, victory run right here, looking so smooth. The style, the composure in the air, all the while making it look good, utilizing the features in this double pipe. 2 pipes side by side. The future is now.
What makes this event so fantastic, not that we had 2 magnificently carved half pipes at 575 feet long, it pushes the boundaries not of big air, Todd, but of style. And that's exactly what these guys had to bring, is style duplicated times 2. Great performance by Taylor Gold. His first run score is enough of 95.6. He is our winner, and he's standing by with Tina Dixon.
And Taylor, the first ever Red Bull double pipe win. It goes to you, and also here's Chase Josey as well, his good friend. But walk us through the approach and the progress it took for you throughout the week.
Really, I had no idea what I was going to do all the way up to this point, so all the progress was made this morning.
How did you come up with that line? Because it looks like you've been doing this for a long time, and there's 2 pipes here, not just 1.
Well, I was just kind of confused what to do down here with the rails and the wall rides and the channel. So last night I was like, well, I'm not really hitting the wall ride or the rail or the channel. So I decided I was going to switch up my line and try to include those features.
And what a year it's been for you. You went to the Olympics. You just recently won the U.S. Open and now this. How important is this to win this kind of event with this format?
It's crazy. Like I said, I never would have expected it. Just beyond stoked.
Congratulations. Enjoy this, Taylor. Guys.
All right, thank you, Tina. So the final results look like this. It is Taylor Gold getting the win. Chase Josey holds on for second, and Longo holds on for third. Want to round out the top 8? Bretz, Ferguson, Farrow, Haller, and Scotty Lago, your top 8. The Red Bull signature moment goes to Taylor Gold for pulling off an amazing run. His score of 95.6 was good enough to win the event, making him the first Red Bull double pipe champion. So that brings the double pipe to a conclusion. Todd, all we can say is progression once again wins out.
You know, I think the big winner here is competitive snowboarding. To have a breath of new, fresh air injected into a arguably stale format, this is what we need. This creates progression, creativity, and style. So hats off to Red Bull.
No question about it as we send it back over to Sal Masekela.
Thank you, Todd. I think it's safe to say that 2 definitely better than 1, especially when it comes to progression and the limit pushing of snowboarding. We might have seen a glimpse into the actual future of half-pipe snowboarding. What an amazing day. Congratulations, though, to Taylor Gold. First the U.S. Open, and then making history here at double pipe. It is a beautiful thing. Thanks again for joining us on a magical and historical day today. On behalf of the entire crew, including Todd Harris, Todd Richards, Tina Dixon, and yours truly, we will see you next time.